So in this new question, we always, no matter what, we want to read the question sentence first. So my party people, here's the question sentence. It's not if there are 30 clarinets. That's just extra information. That's information that might help us. The question starts here. How many flutes are there? Everybody, can you confirm that before we get started on setting anything up, can we confirm that we are looking for the number of flutes specifically? All right, perfect. So we see that we're looking for the number of flutes, and I'm going to write this right here. Blank flutes. And then I'm also given 30 clarinets right here. 30 clarinets. Because they're saying, hey, look, if we have 30 clarinets, how many flutes? So those two pieces of information, they're going to be attached to each other. So we'll say 30 clarinets. Now, up next, in blue, we have that first sentence, and I'm going to highlight some portions here in blue. So here it says, in a school band, the ratio of clarinets to flutes is 6:9. So my party people, help me out. If I were to go ahead and highlight that and write the ratio of clarinets to flutes 6:9, does that mean that I'm going to be writing 6 flutes and then 9 clarinets? Is that what that means? No, that is incorrect. Right, that is incorrect. Because, everybody, this is something that we want to understand, especially if we have not seen this before. When we are dealing with ratios, the order matters. All right, my party people? The order matters. Everybody, when we are here, ratio of clarinets to flutes, 6:9. Everybody, which of these items was said first? Clarinets or flutes? Yeah, the first number adheres to the first item. The second number, the second item. So what does that tell us, everybody? Well, what that tells us is, hey, the 6 is with clarinets, so I should actually represent this right here, this 6 over here, and the 9 over there. Everybody, do you agree with that? Do you see how clarinets is related to 6? So we should line it up over here. And then flutes is 9, and so we should compare it in the same place as flutes. Booyah. So that's what it looks like to compare the same things in the same way. All right, my party people? That is how we compare the same things in the same way. So here's how we're going to set up this proportion. I'll just go ahead and put X for flutes or whatever. You can use F or whatever you want. But here you go. We have X compared to 30. So flutes compared to clarinets. X over 30. Again, flutes, clarinets. Compare the same way. Flutes to clarinets. 9 over 6. All right, my party people. So with that, do we understand that we are, again, comparing the same things in the same way? All right, so from here, all we have to do is just solve now. We have two options. We can cross multiply and divide, or we could try to find another way. So let's just check out the cross multiplication and division way before we get going. So we have 6 times x, so that'll be 6x. And then we have 30 multiplied by 9. What's that going to be, everybody? 30 times 9, that's going to be 270. Cool, perfect. And so, everybody, now that we're here, we have to go ahead and divide both sides by 6, and we are done. Divide by 6 on the left and the right sides. We'll cross out the 6. And now we just have to determine what 270 divided by 6 is going to be. And so once we do that, 6 going into 270. 6 goes into 27 4 times. Subtract 24 to get 3 left over. Then we drop that 0 and we do 6 into 30. And that's going to be 5. So boom, there we are. Our final answer here is going to be 45. And so the answer is not A. The answer is actually going to be B. And so the reason for this, everybody, the reason for this is if you would have accidentally, even by accident, even if you were to accidentally mistake the 6 for the 9, that's what would have caused the accident there. Because if you would have swapped the 6 and the 9 out, the answer would have absolutely been 20. But the problem is that, everybody, the problem is that we're not comparing the same things in the same way. That's the biggest problem. All right, next question. The question reads, how many meters is that? Okay, so how many meters is whatever we're given going to be? Sounds good. So we have blank meters is what we're trying to get to, and we begin at 420 centimeters in length. Okay, sounds good. So what we want to understand from the very get-go is that we're beginning with centimeters and we're trying to get to meters. So we have to understand the conversion between centimeters and meters. So that conversion is going to be the following. That conversion is going to be 1 meter is not 1,000. This is a very common mistake that people make. Very common mistake is people say that 1 meter is 1,000 centimeters, which is not the case. 1 meter is 1,000 millimeters. A centimeter is 100th, not 1,000th. So 1 meter is 100 centimeters right there, 100 centimeters. So again, it would be 1,000 if it were millimeters, not centimeters. So that's what we have. And because we know that we're trying to get to meters, which is in this conversion, the unit with the 1 on it, my party people, what's that going to be? Is that multiplication or division? Yeah, that is going to be division. That's right. That is only going to be division. So with that said, booyah, to get 2 meters, we know that we need to divide because we're getting to that singular unit there. So we are going to divide by that number, that 100. And that's all we got to do. That's all we got to do. So let's set up that division and let's handle it with grace and keep it moving forward. So 100 goes into 420. How many times? Well, 100 goes into 4, can't. 42, it can't. But 420, it'll go in there 4 times. So we have 4 right there, nice and easy. And 4 times 100 is 400. Taking that away, and we get 20 left over. So just like before, we can't abandon the remainder. We cannot abandon it. We have to use that decimal place, and we have to continue going from there. So with that, there's that 0. Drop it down, and we have 200. But we got to make sure we put that decimal place where it belongs. And now, my party people, how many times does 100 go into 200? Yeah, that's going to end up being twice. So boom, we'll write that 2 right there. We'll subtract the 200, and we have no remainder. There we are, 4.2, and that is going to be 4.2 meters. And there it is. Answer choice C is the correct answer. And there we are, my party people.